And coming up next on Action News, a suspect accused of terrorizing a teenage girl assault by New Haven police. Democratic presidential hopeful Bruce Babbitt putting the blame on Ron. We'll explain.
I'm Skip Church. In sports, the series celebration continues. Plus, we'll have Giants, Jets, and Patriots highlights. Bruce?
Well, Skip, just about as nice of weather as you can expect in fall. I am Bruce Avery in the Weather Center, and I'll talk about the details on some lovely Monday weather coming up.
And we'll take you to one of the state's biggest cat shows. Those stories and more straight ahead on the late edition of Action News. Join us.
How fast is the new...
Actress Shelley Long guests on the next Downing.
Live from WTNH, this is Connecticut's Action News, with a complete review of the day's events from across Connecticut and your world. Plus, reports from the Action News team. Now, Action News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Pat Kirk. Here's what's happening. Police are on the lookout tonight for the molester of a young girl. The victim is 14. Authorities say the teenager was forced into a car and driven to a wooded area where she was sexually assaulted. The youngster, whose name is being withheld, remains hospitalized tonight at Yale, New Haven, under close watch. An investigation into the case is underway. And while New Haven police search for their suspect, Plymouth police tonight are searching for a woman accused of sexually assaulting young children. Robin Zarek, seen here in this photo, has been on the loose since Friday when police arrested her husband on the same charge. This small, quiet community was shocked when they learned the Zareks had been allegedly taking nude photos of a number of children. Authorities. Workers at Groton's electric boat shipyard may not get through the doors tomorrow. That's where a no-nuke demonstration is planned. The marchers say they'll block the entrance to the shipyard. A similar rally took place yesterday at Electric Boat in Quonset Point, Rhode Island. It's part of a nationwide event on the 25th anniversary of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Protesters are calling for the elimination of all nuclear weapons by the end of the century. It's the calm before the storm on Wall Street tonight. The settlement deadline is tomorrow for those who bought and sold stocks last Monday, the worst day of trading in history. Brokers worked all weekend to catch up and prepare for what could be another turbulent week. The market will close early tomorrow and Tuesday at 2 p.m. in an attempt to keep the brokers and the computers ahead of the game. Well, Democrats are trying to pin an issue in 1988.
It's an issue for Americans. We need to get after these economic problems. We can solve that deficit. It's not that impossible. We just need to speak frankly about it, get on with making our workplace more productive. We can do it.
So, in other words, you're saying that the Democrats can capitalize on it?
Not by just bashing Reagan, but by talking about what we intend to do, about how we cut expenditures, having the honesty to talk about raising revenues, because we need to do it for America's future.
Babbitt is in Connecticut tonight to name his state campaign coordinators. Meanwhile, the former U.S. ambassador to the UN will not run for president. Jean Kirkpatrick issued a statement today thanking those who encouraged her, but said for personal and political reasons she will not seek the presidency. She decided it was too late to make a credible run for the Republican nomination. And coming up next on Action News, President Reagan feeling the heat from the Iran-Contra committees. And there's a cloud over the Sunshine State as rumors circulate the Contras are coming. We'll explain when we come back. Stay with us.
I go home every day and I expect my dinner on the night. Everything on dishes.
Violence in the home. The emotional scars can last a lifetime. Find out what can be done when love goes wrong. A close-up special Monday night at 8 on Channel 8.
Are the new imports looking alike to you? There is a difference, and Mitsubishi makes it. For example, the 88 Mitsubishi Mighty Max beats out Mazda in both standard features and price. The all-new Mighty Max Macro Cab has the largest base...
Mother.
I'm not a killer.
Can they get to the bottom of this family feud?
Wronged wife, ousted by cruel husband.
That's between the two of you. It has nothing to do with the issue here today.
Uncover the truth.
I have to tell you what really happened.
Next time on The Judge.
Monday at 4 on Channel 8.
So you went to buy a new car and they said, no way, you don't have any credit, and they laughed at you. Well, at Crabtree Haas Mitsubishi, we won't laugh. You don't need previous credit to choose from over 300 new Mitsubishis, all just $95 down. Like a new 88 Priestess or 87 pickup, $59.95, $59.95, $127 a month, just $95 down. If you need financial help, no credit is no problem. Till Monday at Crabtree Haas Mitsubishi in Shelton. Thanks for making us number 6 in the USA.
Fire officials in Michigan tonight are trying to figure out why a controlled fire suddenly got out of control. A 100-year-old farmhouse was deliberately set. He likes to make a fuss over the weather. Actually, it was pretty nice today.
Yes, it was. It was gorgeous.
Are you a cat lover too?
I was for a long time until I realized that I sneezed every time one came by. Oh well. Forecast at least looks brilliant. I'll go along with that. I'll have it for you in a few minutes. We might see a few record lows tonight on the coast. If it gets down to 31, that will tie a record. And in inland sections, I don't think it's going to get down to 24. That's what the record would be. That would be very chilly, but it probably will be in the 20s in some places around the state because the dew points are in the 20s. That's very dry air, and when there's no winds to churn up the atmosphere, the temperatures just drop like a stone with clear skies, and that's what's out there. Relative humidity in the 50s, pressure is rising, and the winds, as I mentioned, are dropping down. Earlier today, they were gusting up to 28 miles an hour. Now they're down to light to moderate speeds. Around the region, temperatures are in the 40s along the shoreline, in the 30s in inland sections of Connecticut, 39 up at Springfield, 34 in Albany, and it's already below the freezing mark in Poughkeepsie. It's down at 30, and almost definitely there'll be frost around tonight. Weather watches tonight. Chris Kowalczyk in Middletown, he said that. He said almost definitely where he is. He's down in one of those traditionally colder areas down in a little valley. There definitely will be frost out there tonight. 39 degrees right now in Middletown, 32 degrees already in Newtown, where Emily Cassidy, who's a first-time weather watcher, said she was talking about a new dog. She walked the new Bichon. I hope I said that right. She wasn't talking about cats today. She went out and enjoyed a beautiful day with a brand new little puppy. Now here's what happened today. These clouds shot through earlier this morning, as a matter of fact, about 4 o'clock this morning, with a few light sprinkles, and then it cleared out quite nicely, and it continues to clear out. Note, out to our west is a lot of clear skies, so we're at least in for one nice day, maybe 2 nice days, and then it kind of turns wet for Wednesday. Here's some rainfall down to our south. There's a developing storm system out here in the lower Mississippi River Valley, and in fact, out here in Oklahoma and Texas, there's a severe thunderstorm watch, and that will aggregate into a storm and head up towards us again towards Wednesday, maybe bringing with it some shower activity before that and probably a little bit of cloudiness on Tuesday. However, for tomorrow morning, Monday, high pressure right over the top of us, beautiful weather for getting out and going out to the bus. Will be sunny for a change at the bus because of the change in times where the sun comes up at about 6:15. High pressure still over us by tomorrow night at 7, but note this storm coming together and then clouds coming in for Tuesday, rain probably again on Wednesday, but until then, lovely weather, high temperatures in the 50s. Here's my forecast. Looks like this, what we're looking at for the rest of tonight or today. I always get confused at this time. Clear and cold, 30 to 35, and again, some places in the 20s. Winds dying down to almost nothing. For wake-up time, sun for those school buses, 35 to 40. For the rest of tomorrow, bright sunshine, crisp, 55 to 60. Winds light and variable. For Tuesday, clouding up, shower possible during the day, 58 to 63. And then Tuesday night into Wednesday, rain, 58 to 63. Thursday, clearing. And Friday, sunny again, 55 to 60. Temperatures just about seasonal. Not a bad forecast at all for the next few days.
Enjoy it while you can.
Absolutely, because it's going out quickly. One of our weather watchers was talking today about taking the boat out of the water. Okay. A sad sign of summer and fall.
Oh, okay, Bruce. Well, today was a great day for taking a walk. And that's what 100 people in Hartford did today for a very good cause. It was the second annual walkathon to raise money for the United Negro College Fund. About 300 Connecticut residents go to college every year thanks to the money the group gives to needy students. Today's volunteers encourage others to get involved.
It's a nice walk, and I hope more people come out to walk as the time goes on.
Why do you do it?
Well, just to meet more people, basically, and to walk to help other people. You know, because less fortunate people might not be able to go to college, and I want to be one of the people that can and help someone else also.
So very true. The United Negro College Fund has a fundraising goal of $1.5 million this year. In sports, Skip Church is sitting in for Anthony James and ready to tell us about the new World Series champion. I'm sure most people already know.
I think a lot of people know, especially the people who are up right now. Celebrating is probably still going on in Minneapolis. We'll take a look at how the Twins won the crown. We'll also check on the regulars who are back in the NFL and the Giants who are back to form, but they have a long way to go.
Baby is legitimate.
A world where emotions are unleashed.
That's a lot of baloney. I never said any such thing.
And lives change forever. Superior Court.
Weekdays at 10:30. Make it 8.
Well, you saw it right here on Channel 8, the Minnesota Twins, baseball champs of the world, and Skip Church is here with game highlights. What a game!
I bet some celebrating is still going on, especially in the Viola household, as Frank was named the World Series MVP. There is no place like Dome. The Twins won every World Series game they played there, the first time anybody's ever done that. Tonight, you saw them take Game 7 over the Cardinals 4-2 and the series 4-3. Now, the Twins just might call it captivating. Their first World Series title ever in Minnesota. It looked like the Cardinals, though, might take the title. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the second. This single by Steve Lake brought Willie McGee home. It was 2-zip, but Minnesota came back to win it. With the bases loaded in the sixth, Greg Gagne drills one down the line. Tom Lawless made the stop, but couldn't get the out. Tom Brunansky scored. It was 3-2. The Twins went on to win it 4-2, taking their first World Series title ever. And turning to football, it was the return of the veterans. Stadiums around the country looked alive again, and the Giants certainly looked alive as they beat up on the St. Louis Cardinals by the score of 30-7. Now, the players were happy to be back. The fans were happy to have them, but nobody was happier than Coach Bill Parcells. The Giants wasted no time getting on the scoreboard. Phil Simms rolls right and hits a familiar target. East as they lost to the Redskins this afternoon 17-16. That means the Hogs are still rolling in the mud and very happy as the Redskins are now 5-1. Jay Schrader gave Washington the early lead when he hit Gary Clark on this 20-yarder in the second quarter. It was 7-0. The Jets pulled ahead for the first time in the last play of the third quarter. Kenny O'Brien to Mickey Schuler, and the Washington fans were yelling for the Scabs to return. However, the veterans came through in the end. With 6 minutes left, it was Schrader to Kelvin Bryant to make it 16-14, still down by 2 points, but with just 58 ticks on the clock, ex-Giant Ali Haji Sheikh kicks a 28-yard field goal, and Washington won 17-16. Elsewhere around the NFL, it was Houston winning over Atlanta. Buffalo down Miami in overtime, 34-31. Chicago came from behind to beat Tampa Bay by 1 point, and Pittsburgh came from behind to win over Cincinnati. Close games around the NFL today, but Philadelphia didn't have too much trouble with Dallas winning 37-20. Green Bay, a 1-point game over Detroit. San Francisco won by only 2 over New Orleans, and Seattle down the Los Angeles Raiders surprisingly easily. San Diego won big over Kansas City by the score of 42-21. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks had an unusual task from the normal. They still had to win, but it wasn't against an NBA team. The Russians invaded Milwaukee, but were defeated by the score of 127-100. The Russians were better off not even showing up, as they were never really have complete highlights of Game 7 and hear from some of the players. We will also take a look at squash, a growing sport, one that was featured in a professional tournament at Yale this weekend. We will also take a look at who got squashed around the NFL. All that and more coming up. Yeah, I gave it a try.
Squash.
I gave it a try and gave new meaning, as I said last night, to the word squash.
Okay, Skip. Thank you. And still ahead on the late edition, goblins and ghouls gathering in a pumpkin patch. The story when we come back. Don't go away now.
You don't have
Radio. How would you like to win his and her Hyundais from Herb Chambers Hyundai, Weston Street, Hartford? Plus, you can win our great daily prize, a $200 shopping spree at the Diamond Gold Connection, 92 Weston Street, across from Hartford High Line. Just watch WTNH Channel 8 Action News live at 5, weekdays from 5 to 5:30. I'll be giving you a solid gold hit to remember. When you hear me play it the next morning on Big D 103, call me and you can win. Watch WTNH Action News live at 5, beginning Monday for details.
The new Volkswagen.
Some anxious ghosts and goblins are already on the prowl. Even Gumbies were out today giving a wave to the camera along with Jack of Jack and the Beanstalk fame. The setting, a beautiful inn at Lake Warwamog. A number of youngsters spent this gorgeous day where else but in a pumpkin patch, picking their own jack-o'-lanterns. Even adults got into the act, and we talked to some of the youngsters about their Reynolds of Warren. Congratulations. And that wraps up this edition of Action News. Stay tuned for Sports Extra with Skip Church. For Skip, Bruce, and all of us here, thanks for watching. Good night.